Acast powers the world's best podcasts. Here's a show that we recommend.
Hey, I'm Kim Holderness.
And I'm Ben Holderness.
We host the Holderness Family Podcast every Tuesday.
You may know us from the silly videos that we make online.
Or a book about marriage called Everybody Fights.
Or as winners of season 33 of The Amazing Race.
Still can't believe that happened. Yeah. Listen, we do a lot of stuff, but our podcast is our most favorite thing.
Yeah, because every week we get to sit down face to face, talk to each other about marriage, family, mental health, or just anything that we want to know more about.
Sometimes we have expert interviews, sometimes it's just us, but our goal is to bring some joy and laughter into your life every week.
Our other goal is that maybe you will learn something as well.
Right, so search the Holderness Family Podcast and check out our most recent episodes. We have one about staying organized with creators of the Home Edit.
And one about being diagnosed with ADHD as an adult.
We hope you'll join us.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.
Hi, it's Dave here. This is my wife, Kathy.
Hello.
This is the Cinemile, the podcast where we used to walk home from the movies and now we stay at home for the movies.
And we send desperate tweets out asking people to recommend movies for us. So thank you. People who recommended, what's it called? The Vast of Night? Nick Mortimer, Bradley, Holiday and Billy, one of our loyal Patreons, recommended this on Twitter. So guys, it's your fault if we don't like it.
Oh, that's where you're going with it. And we're also joined by guest mother/mother-in-law Linda.
Hi.
And we're in your house to watch The Vast of Night. Now, I don't know what this is. I don't know anything about it. I've never heard of it before. I don't know who's in it. I don't know anything except that there's this freeze frame of some buildings and it's an hour and 30 minutes long. And I don't want to know anything.
It's on Amazon Prime.
So let's make this short.
The other one
he doesn't want to know anything. I tried to look it up a few minutes ago. He doesn't want to know anything. So I'll just have to...
I want to be surprised.
Okay. Do you want to cover
and elated in equal measure?
Do you want to know why I picked this movie? Because lots of people recommended The Old Guard on Netflix as well.
Oh, is that the Charlize Theron thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The core difference is that this movie's 90 minutes and that movie's 2 hours.
That's that influenced your choice?
100%
no surprise.
Influence.
I like Charlize Theron. I might watch that movie.
Can I tell you what genre this is at least?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm going to guess the genre.
No, don't guess because you read the synopsis.
You can guess. Oh no, you've read the synopsis. I don't want to know a thing. I just want us all to sit here in silence for this podcast intro.
And Mom,
I don't want to miss a thing.
Mom, thank you. We haven't had you on the podcast in ages.
It's been so long.
Yeah, well, on the movie podcast. She's been on the TV Patreon podcast.
Yeah, no, it's nice. Nice to be back.
Yeah, we're in Ireland.
When was the last time you were on?
I'm going to say 3 billboards. Could it be that
Was it that long ago?
Could it be?
Well, good segue.
Meghan Markle on the couch.
No, that was ages ago.
When Harry met Meghan.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
I think you guys having children has impacted my capacity to guest slot because I'm usually.
We hadn't really considered that when we decided to have children.
I know.
And then just the kind of global pandemic got in the way. I think.
That's actually in my favour because you have to sit here on my couch watching them with me. But anyway, it's nice to be back, and I love the podcast, so I would listen to you anyway, and it's an even bonus now. Listen to myself.
Go on.
You didn't say it exactly like I wrote, but that was pretty good.
And thanks everyone.
Do I still get my fiver?
Thanks everyone for recommending it. I'm really excited by this one from what I've seen, but no, I won't tell Dave what it's about or he'll get very upset with me.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess.
Okay.
It's about vampires.
No.
Good guess.
Who
guess the genre.
It's about the genre?
Yeah.
Fantasy.
Close.
Sci-fi.
Yeah.
It's a sci-fi.
Yeah.
I like the sci-fis.
I know, we love sci-fi, so this is good.
Science and fiction together at last.
Let's go.
All right.
Okay, bye.
See you later.
718 here, WOTW. We got a sound we'd like to play that seems to be bouncing around the valley tonight.
Yes, I have a story that might be helpful.
I can tell you what's going on.
The sound we heard out in the desert, it was coming from thousands of feet higher than anything could fly.
They've come here before. They've liked this place. They always have.
It is 7:45 p.m. and we may have something that'll need some informal. What?
We followed it from Colt Canyon.
Bang!
Who's that? It's Everett. Stop smiling. What's he doing here? He's helping me. Stop smiling.
Get in! It's outside of town! Come on, come on, come on! Bang, come on!
Something's up there now.
Hi, we're back. We watched The Vast of Night into the night. There was vastly. And here we are, staring into the abyss.
Can you hear the dishwasher?
Yes.
Awesome.
It's
That's
very
the
loud.
dishwasher. Mom, tell us what the movie's about, with no spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it, and then tell us if you liked it or not.
I just think the dishwasher noises was a good segue.
Yeah.
Because this movie is about two young people.
Washing dishes.
Indiscriminate age, not washing dishes. I'd say under 20, both of them, who've got these like part-time, these jobs at night. So they're on their own at night in their respective jobs while the whole town is at a basketball match, and they hear these sounds. Now, they wouldn't have had dishwashers then, so it could have sounded like that, but it's a high frequency sound that's coming over the radio, and it leads them on an adventure to discover what's going on, and they meet some people who have stories about unexplained sounds from the past, and it leads them into, no spoilers, but it ends up with them discovering the source of the sound as they move gracefully into some unknown future. Do you know, I was absolutely enthralled by it, mostly because it's set in the 50s and it actually felt like it was made in the 50s. I never saw a 50s movie that looked so much like it was made in the 50s, even though it was made last year, I guess.
I've never seen Grease.
It didn't. No, stop.
It was made in 2016, I think, a couple of years ago.
Yeah, but and they had this beautiful way of introducing it, where you saw it playing out on a small black and white 50s TV. So
yeah,
I did. I mean, it was really interesting camera work. The whole thing seemed to be shot as if there was a camera on a dog. It was shot so low.
Yeah, it's so
down.
low. It's really interesting.
Really low, and the camera just kept moving. So it looked, I know you said, we talked about it, there were breaks in scenes, but it almost looked like a continuous shot, a lot of it, like that war movie claimed to be. Yeah, but this one looked like it was just one dog running around filming.
It's become, I think every movie is a one shot pony now.
But this was before 1917.
Didn't this just come out?
It was made in 2016.
Oh, was it? Oh,
So
Kathy's done some research.
1917 ripped this movie right off.
But I think the low camera angle was a point of difference. I don't think I've never felt so low down as a viewer.
I felt like it had been strapped to a buggy.
Yeah, or
a very steady.
A dog in a buggy. I think that's actually how they did it. It's a behind the scenes.
The baby, there was a baby in it. No spoilers. Yeah. Maybe the baby was doing the filming.
They strapped a GoPro on the baby's head, put a saddle on a dog, and then said, action.
Mom, I like that you called it a basketball match.
Oh, what was
that's
it?
what I
It's a game.
Say.
It's a game. Oh, it's match Irish.
Yeah.
Is it?
Basketball match.
But you could say match is British as well. Match of the day.
Okay, fine. Anyway,
we can't claim that
Dave,
one.
what did you think
of the movie? We can claim anything we like.
Yeah.
It's ours. Hands off, Britain. We own matches.
We own matches.
We also own the things that start fires. I thought it was really interesting, unique. It felt really like it's slow and engrossing at the beginning. It's very naturalistic. It's just a lot of people having conversations, often over each other. Although the low down camera angle, and which often follows people while they're walking at the beginning, made it very difficult to understand what they were saying, and they all had accents. So it was a movie.
It was behind them.
Yeah.
So it was like, imagine it's just filming like their arses basically, and we had to put on the subtitles because
that's very Irish.
Yeah, between their accents and the fact that we couldn't see their lips moving.
Between their accents and their arses.
Yes.
We had to put on the subtitles.
We had subtitles on for like at least the first 20 minutes of this movie.
Yeah, I'd say half of it.
I actually felt myself like I sounded like so old. I just went, I have no idea what they're talking about or what's happening. And as soon as we put the subtitles on, that fixed it.
Well, also there's a lot of 50s lingo in here, which I liked. Like the radio guy Everett talks about like now you're baking biscuits and things like this. It just drops in all this. Like I think it feels like a film with. I agree with you. It's like it really did feel like in the 50s, and it felt like this was filled with little details. Authentic details from that time, particularly around technology and the audio. Like there's a real love for the craft of radio and the tapes, and I really admired that the actor that played Everett like was doing all that stuff. Like we watch him like putting these reels on Jake Horowitz's
speed.
speed.
Reel-to-reel tapes.
So I felt like there was
So the actress was really doing a switchboard.
Yes, exactly. Like, and now she could have been putting the things in anywhere, I guess. But like, but she felt like I believed that she knew what she was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of sort of physical acting involved in both of their roles, and they were both really excellent. And the conversations are very naturalistic. Like there's people talking at one stage. There's 4 people talking at the same time,
Which is where the subtitles came right in handy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I liked it. It's intriguing. It's a slow build. It's kind of slowly creepy. There's a lot of interesting camera work. The framing device is really interesting with the as you said, the 50s sort of Outer Limits Twilight Zone thing, which is fun. It felt like just a real love letter to old sci-fi and a particular genre of sci-fi. So yeah, I think it was really, really good overall. In the end, it kind of left me a bit sort of shruggy, I'll be honest. I don't think the conclusion was...
Is that what you were doing? Shrugging?
I was shrugging, yeah.
Ah, oh right. Shruggy Dave.
Shruggy Dave. I was just shrugging it off. But so it didn't... I would say like I was enjoying it while it was happening, but it didn't really leave a lasting impact on me.
I would say exactly the same. I really enjoyed it. There was a lot that was nice, but it made no difference to my life. I didn't.
No, I'm not going to think about this again.
No, but and I don't mean that joke. Like a lot of things I do watch, and we've been watching while you've been here a couple of TV shows that are thought-provoking, raising questions and cause for conversation. And this was just pleasant. Now, what I did find interesting, what made it so 50s, each of the characters had really long monologues. Like the lady at the end, they went to some lady's house who had some insight into the whole source of the electronic noises. She must have spoken uninterrupted for 5 minutes. And also there was a guy, Harry on radio, who's Billy. Billy. He spoke uninterrupted for probably 10 minutes. So it had that whole sense of unhurriedness that movies from the 50s had. Remember, they were long.
Yeah.
There was no sense of hurry. The scenes didn't change quickly. It had all of that. So it was well done, and I enjoyed it.
It takes its time, this movie. I liked that about it.
And yet it was only 90 minutes and got everything done.
Although one last thing, the what's interesting about what you're describing, these long takes and this very slow dialogue, that style of filmmaking only exists when we're in the actual the actual world. When we're watching it through the lens of the TV screen, you get fast cuts and hard edits, and there's no movement. So they actually filmed it in 2 different styles, which I thought was really interesting.
This is really interesting. I hadn't noticed that.
So it's more like an old TV show with like little. There's no style in the 4:3 bit. Anyway, Kathy, what about you? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I really liked it as well. I'm really glad you guys recommended it. Thank you. I think it was like a long enough 90 minutes. I'm glad that it was only that long. Like, it felt a bit longer than that. Now, partially because when we don't go to the cinema and we watch movies at home, without fail, our 6-month-old baby will wake up crying in the middle of the movie, and we have to go and settle him and come down again. So it's an absolute killer. So, Mum, in that sense, as much as we loved watching the movie with you, it would have been much easier if we were in the cinema and you were at home with the crying baby. But no, I thought it was really good. It's a first time. He's a first-time director who also wrote it and self-financed it. So that's pretty cool. And it was rejected from 18 film festivals before it got accepted in the Slam Dance Film Festival, which I don't know, where it won Best Narrative Feature Audience Award. And it's hugely, like, everyone really likes it. It does really well, like, on Rotten Tomatoes and stuff. I really liked the setting. It's funny because it's a setting we've seen before, like this sort of sci-fi in the 50s. But I think they did it in a really interesting way. And I really like the 2 main characters. And I obviously like stuff set around radios because we do a podcast. And I thought the acting was all really good. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it. But at the start, I think it is genuinely hard to follow and you need to give it a bit of a go for the first couple of minutes. And I think we should go to spoilers. What do you guys think? Because it is a mystery, so it'll be fun to talk about the mystery.
Okay, spoilers now for The Vast of Night.
And for anyone who missed us saying it in the intro, it's on Amazon Prime. They picked it up, so like it's an exclusive on Amazon Prime. Which is cool. Amazon Prime are doing more good stuff now. They're kind of gathering up their inventory a bit, you know what I mean? For a long time they weren't really the place you'd go to looking for stuff.
It still does. This wouldn't be like, this isn't a subscription driver, is it though?
No,
like,
but it makes me feel good about our subscription, which
Yeah,
mostly at the time I don't feel good about my Amazon subscription, so it made me
usually
happy.
feel guilty about
Yeah, same. Between this and Little Fires Everywhere, which we watched last month, I'm very pleased with my Amazon subscription right now.
Right, so spoilers, full spoilers now. What about how? So get away now with your headphones, will you? Head off to the match. Aliens.
I was wondering where you were going with
Let's
this.
talk about the aliens.
Shruggy. Yeah, in the end, the noise is communication from aliens. And
But like so obvious though, did you?
well, it was so obvious to us from the very beginning because they were talking about lights in the sky, and we've seen all the subsequent movies, but it really captured it. It wasn't obvious to them in the 50s, who maybe had the word. By the way, the word alien was never mentioned.
Yeah, I liked that.
It was was people. No, it
People
was lights
in the
and
sky.
people
Them
in
in
the
the
sky.
sky.
Those people up
Yeah.
there. But in the end, it was a full modern
classic
day
flying
classic
saucer.
flying saucer,
Yeah.
but like very exciting.
It felt really exciting at the end when they were in the woods looking up at this, what looked like a wonderful, it was a really well done alien ship. We felt their awe, didn't we? Because you're right, we've seen it in a million movies. If we saw one in real life, we probably wouldn't even be that impressed now. Like, but they were just, I really liked, and we didn't talk about the ending at all until now because we like to save our discussions for the podcast. But I presume we're all on the same boat in that they were beamed up and disappeared.
Yeah,
and just left behind their footprints.
Yeah, 100%.
They disappeared.
The footprints
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
So everyone in the town's going to know now because they did all the radio broadcasts and then they just disappeared.
But no, but the word I don't think the word ship or alien was mentioned on the broadcast.
Yeah, that was just a weird noise.
Oh, and their tape recorder was kind of burnt at the end, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was
So
fried,
the
so nobody
interview's
knew.
gone.
It's another. That's what it was left with me. It's another mystery, like the woman's son.
Yeah.
She knew what was going on, but she'd no evidence.
nobody
And
will
they should have
believe
brought
them.
her with them, and she could have met her son.
and nobody believed them.
Yeah, I felt bad for her, and she's the woman you're talking about who had the long monologue, and to the point where I thought it nearly felt even like she was quite a hammy actress, but it felt true to the film. Like she was very intent, but also they thought she was a bit mad, so it kind of worked. Oh yeah, I really enjoyed those scenes with her as well. And then they just got up and left, and you're like, no, because we know she's telling the truth. We believe her.
Another piece I liked, and I guess it's not really a spoiler, but we had two young stars, protagonists, male, female, both under 20, maybe aged 18. Was that kind of the implication? 18,
They
19?
said she was 16.
She's
Oh,
16.
16.
He's a
He
couple
might
of
have
years
been
older,
18,
I'd say,
okay.
yeah.
But there was no messing around with anything romantic. It was all quite innocent. He walked her home or
He
walked
was more
her
of
to
a
her work.
mentor figure, if anything.
Yeah, but he wasn't that much older. They introduced each other as friends. They were friends, and there was no even hint at it crossing anything. It was all quite nice and quite innocent, and she took him very literally. Like even that thing, burning biscuits, was it, or what did he
Baking
say?
biscuits.
Baking biscuits. She thought he was talking about biscuits. It was all very
Yeah.
sweet and innocent.
Fun fact, actually, that's what I say to Kathy every time we do this just before we hit record. I said, let's bake some biscuits, baby.
Oh, and the
And
other
she
reason
runs to the kitchen.
the reason we couldn't understand him at the start was because he was talking with a cigarette in his mouth the whole time. And then it's really funny. He's like, everyone puts a cigarette in their mouth when they're recording audio. And I thought,
Yeah.
God, I don't know if I ever...
Yeah, we're smoking right now.
Well, obviously,
we're always
very
we smoke
discreet.
for every
Yeah,
podcast.
Very discreet. But yeah, it's funny because, now you wouldn't make any noise when you're recording. Like, you can't be eating or anything like that. As I often have to tell Dave, who, like, tries to eat while we're recording a
I
podcast.
just took a sip of my beer.
Beer's okay. But yeah, I think it's really, like, I think it's a sweet little movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I honestly don't think there's much to say,
No.
except that it's enjoyable. It's different. I think that's maybe why it's getting good reviews. It's different. You feel like
Yeah.
you're watching something a little bit unique, a little bit new, unknown actors, unknown writers,
Yeah.
directors.
It's definitely good for these kind of movies, though, on
I
lockdown.
It's a
don't know.
calling card movie.
It is a calling card.
That's
and-
what it is.
And I don't know whether that cameraman dog got any credit for it.
That's
The
certainly
director and
felt unique.
cinematographer.
But do you think, I think being honest, and I know it did well in that film festival
honest,
last year,
Kathy.
but being honest, if it wasn't for lockdown and if really at the moment Tenet and all these huge movies are out, because this came out in May, I think, if there was a lot of big summer blockbusters out now.
You'd have been in the cinema and I'd have been on the couch.
Well, no, I just think a lot of people might have missed it, so I'm happy for them. It's like that other movie we watched on Netflix, or Amazon, that we really enjoyed, which was Dating Amber. Similarly, I'm glad that they're getting a lot more recognition because of lockdown and people are at home watching this stuff. So that's one positive to
I
the
wonder,
pandemic.
and I know we're talking things Irish and lockdown. Like can we give a shout out to the Irish show Normal People? That's like really taken the world by storm. And I wonder if it hadn't been for everybody just sitting in on lockdown, would it even have been seen around the world?
Well, it
I
was,
don't know.
remember, BBC made it as well.
BBC made
But
it.
I think you're right in that it wouldn't have been so big.
I don't think
Much
it
like
would have been so
Tiger
big.
King, which we wouldn't have all got completely obsessed over for a week. Or like, what were the other shows we got obsessed with? What was the one with the pods, the dating one?
Love is Blind.
Love is Blind, we were obsessed.
That was before lockdown.
It was, yeah, but it peaked right at the beginning of lockdown in terms of everyone talking about it. It's like lockdown's done this thing for viewing that everyone has lamented for years, that outside of sports and news, people aren't collectively watching, you know, live TV anymore.
Like Eurovision.
Yeah,
Which,
those
like in
big
my day,
events.
we used to everybody,
Yeah.
the whole world would sit, well, the whole of Europe would sit down and watch Eurovision.
And now it's like everyone, okay, well, we weren't all exactly watching Tiger King or Love is Blind or whatever at the same time, or normal people, but we were all watching it within a couple of days of each other, and there's a global conversation, which has been quite cool. So I think, there's some upside, and I'm delighted for these guys that they're doing so well. He self-financed it and directed it, but then he wrote it under a pseudonym. I don't know why. So his name is on the directing name, but he wrote the script
to
under
have
the
his name
pseudonym.
all over it.
It's pretty weird. But no, I really enjoyed it. And thank you so much, Mom, for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, thanks, Linda.
Hopefully we'll have you again before the year is out.
Oh yeah, hopefully. Maybe even in the cinema, we'll see.
And thanks everyone for listening. You can message us about The Vast of Night or whatever at The Cinemile on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, theCinemile@gmail.com, or that's it, or just shout out the window, and if you're near us, we'll hear it.
Yeah, and if you really want to support us, it costs you absolutely nothing and takes you all of 10 seconds. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, please leave us a review, rate and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. And you know what? Recommend it to a friend if you like it. We'd appreciate that too.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
And if you
nice.
want to go one step further and support the podcast, you can subscribe to our Patreon feed. It's a whole other bonus podcast where we do retro movies and TV shows.
Fun TV shows.
Fun
all the
TV
stuff
shows.
Mom's
we've
been on
watching.
twice this
Yeah.
month.
We did The Sinner and Twin Peaks with you very
Did we do
very recently.
Snowpiercer?
No, we didn't do that,
Okay.
but we've been watching it.
But we should do Snowpiercer.
And we just watched In Bruges. So all those episodes are up there now. It's at patreon.com/The Cinemile. Head over there if that interests
Well, it's a
you.
good subscription. I even subscribe to that to hear myself. That's how.
Yeah, you don't get it for free.
I get nothing for free. I was one of the first subscribers. I love
You
it.
were. Do you want to hear a fun fact?
Yes.
Dave's mom was subscribed to us and then she unsubscribed.
Outed on the podcast.
I admire her courage.
She
I
just,
don't
like,
think-
silently left the Patreon, never to return again.
Thankfully,
Thanks, Mary.
she'll
She won't
never
listen to
she'll
this.
never want to listen to the Vast of Night spoilers. So she'll never hear this.
Right, we need to
I'm
go.
sharing it with her.
And we need to go because we have to get up at 5:30 tomorrow morning to get on a ferry to Ireland. I mean, to England. We're in Ireland. Very exciting. All right, goodbye, everyone.
But that's another thing. Can I just shout out for ferries? Ferries are coming back into
Shout out for
fashion.
ferries. Shout out to the ferries.
Shout out Irish
Shout out to my
ferries.
boys in Stena Line.
So ferry cross the Mersey. That was a big hit for. I'm sure it was Wings.
This is back in the 50s.
Back in the 70s. Yeah.
Oh, thanks,
Okay,
Mom.
there you go.
So shout out to ferries.
Shout out to Mary.
Any other mass transportation service you'd like to shout out?
Shout out to Mom who made us a load of masks to wear on said ferries.
Yes. Oh, and go to our Patreon for the chance to win one of Linda's masks.
Yeah, she makes 3-ply
Details-
masks.
Ultra cool.
Details
3-ply
in the
reusable masks with Indian fabric.
Authentic Indian, 100% cotton soft.
yeah. We wear them. They look good. We look good. We're very, very
Dave
happy.
wears them around the house.
I
Just
love
to look
my
good.
mask.
Yeah.
I was wearing mine earlier with sunglasses, and I was like, I could just rob a bank now. No one would recognise me. And then I robbed a bank.
Awesome.
I know. That's why we're getting the whole ferry to ourselves tomorrow morning at 5:30.
Get the whole
I
ferry.
rented the whole ferry out for us. It's a treat.
Okay. We'll stop.
Bye.
Bye.
Number, please. Sorry for the wait. Number, please. Okay, I'll connect you. I'm not sure. No, you're the first one to... Yes, we'll let them know. Thank you. Number, please. Yes, we're notifying Highway Patrol. We'll relay any news to you. Thank you. Thank you. Number, please. Sorry for the wait.
Acast powers the world's best podcasts. Here's a show that we recommend.
What do you do when no one else is watching? What do you do that makes you happy for no reason at all? What are you obsessed with? I'm Leslie Arfin, and I'm a writer, but I'm also a dancer, a painter, a vapor, a dollhouse enthusiast, and basically just an overall hobbyist. My podcast, Filling the Void, is all about what other people are fanatically into. We talk about hobbies, even if you don't have one.
Listen to Filling the Void on Tuesdays on the Erios Network, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.